Nice to meet you. I think Reza, Sila, Maria, and Felipe, and all are in this meeting. It's a pleasure to be here and to discuss a little bit about accessibility and diversity. Uh, my name is Marcelo Ferreira. I have a master's degree from a university here in Brazil. Currently, I'm project manager at Caesar, Caesar is the company in Northeast in Brazil. Also, I'm professor. They have a school or university, and I am mentor of Global Alumni. It's a AD Tech for digital program transformation for MIT professional education in Brazil. So this is, let me go to the next slide. So today, the topic is about how to use assistive technology to help deaf elderly people in the healthcare context. So the agenda for today, I will give you an introduction, context and problem, research question, objective, existing technology, conclusion, and future work. Okay. Okay, let's start here in the introduction. Assistive technology being an interdisciplinary area of knowledge, significantly improve people's productivity as the use of services and on mobility or mobile devices, include telemedicine approach. These technologies aim to promote the participation and engagement of people with some level of disability or reduced mobility. What does it mean? This will making them more independent with a high and better quality of life. Because with the assistive technologies, the idea is to provide assistance that they need to execute an action, maybe not so simple. Up to the present moment in the healthcare context, we don't have elements of change, and it's important to have this improvement in the technology and the technology as a part of the day by day of life of the people. So the hospital and the doctor offices. What else? Deafness can cause consequences such as accidents due to inability to hear alert sounds, also social exclusion, depression, and diseases such as Alzheimer's. Why I brought this introduction? Because as you can see here in the picture, when the elderly they have some kind of reduced mobility or disability, they need to be part of something and they don't want to be social excluded, right? Imagine they have health but they need to drive their car. So if they have a way to have the alert sounds, or in case they cannot have a way to go to the hospital or to the doctor's office, and they have a reduced mobility. So the telemedicine or teleconference could help with the application that they can have virtual checkup, virtual appointment with the doctor, so they can still in their home, in their uh, environment, and they don't need to expand to be stressed and so on, right? So that's why we need to think about this population and the people. So the context here is because people with disability may find more difficult doing daily tasks. For instance, a person with hearing loss may not be able to call for a support they need. For example, they need to make an appointment, or in the case they have a cell phone or a tablet to see news or to play some games or to just to train brain education or something like that, and they need support how to install or how to do the action. So how can do this? So in this context, accessible technology assistive can help them in daily tasks, for example. The main problem here until now, the healthcare, they needed to change and improve the technology that this is the part of the daily of the hospital and doctors, as I said. For example, they needed to bring, to be able, the urgent impacts, the capacity of the healthcare system, that they don't have to support all the patient that goes to the hospital or to the doctor's office. So in this case, they will provide more quality care if they have the technology available in the hand. Okay, to aid impaired people in this situation, it's necessary to promote better understanding and knowledge about which products and services are available and how can help. This usually is termed assistive technology. When combining these different disciplines and methodologies, one can aim at improve impaired people with more independence and self-confidence using the technology. So we are saying here, you need to put the assistive technology, but you need to get them, when they use, more self-confident with to use that technology. How they really be sure that they will help in daily basis, right? Indeed, AT provides the assistance needed by the user to execute an action that may be not so simple, as I said. So in this case, we needed to teach them how to be part of the new technology, the new environment, the new opportunity to improve the quality of life. So here I divided in the research questions. For example, this technology's environment serves to offer sustaining improvement as predicted by the theory of disruptive innovation. That is, they provide the promotion of increased performance that increasingly enables them to serve customer or patient more demanding in the best way. For instance, in Brazil, for example, due to we are fighting against coronavirus, the telemedicine was approved and released in Brazil. So this is a big advantage for us. For example, we stayed more than 1 year without go to the hospital or the doctor's office to do checkup or the routines, right? So in this case, with the telemedicine, they could be accessible for those elderly people, and they could be protected and not in the same environment of the virus and so on. So this is a good advance. Okay, the object. So the object of this research is how to use the technology to improve the elderly and their difficulties in access healthcare. Provide simple and efficient healthcare mobile applications to assist the elderly people in routine. For example, virtual health checkups. So we just have an application, a simple application in the mobile, and they connect it to the session, and the doctor can talk to the patient or to the family, and together they can have the checkup, ask for exam, check the results and so on, and the patient can become more confident with the situation because they still in the same environment they like. As we know, elderly after some age, they don't want to go out, to be out of your environment, of your comfort zone, right? Since the elderly are the population that has high rate of disability and they have many difficulties to access health services, the creation of the tools such as assistive technology, such as remote assistance, such as telemedicine, will allow them for improvement in the healthcare for this population. Of course, we are saying better life, but we have another points to consider. I will explain soon. What's the exist technology on this way? Previously, we have the proposed proof of concept for accessibility in libraries or sign language, we can say in this way. It was my first result in diversity and inclusion, how to help deaf person to get support from customer service, and they will chat in sign language, and the support will receive the sign language translated to Portuguese, and will reply in Portuguese, but the deaf will receive in a sign language as an avatar or 3D model or something like that. So this was first result, and now I'm doing the research to help elderly people in the healthcare context, because I know that this population needs this kind of accessibility, right? And based on this work also, it was submit some patents on US in the office. One was the chat communications tool between a listener and hearing impaired person, is still under review. But the second was mixed reality to help visually impaired people, and we have this number approved. And the second one, the sign language keyboard. I believe this month or maximum the next month, we can search on Google patent, and we can get those the details and the patent available. Okay, one more example here I would like to share. For example, we have here the Kinect technology using sign language. This is a kind of way, for example, how the patient will be assisted by the doctor in the office. Okay.
There are millions of people in the world using sign language, and a big part of them are in China.
And right now, we know that information technology, especially the computer, grow up very fast. So from my view, I think it's the right time to develop some technology to help them.
This project is a sign language translator. It translates from one sign language to another. It helps the hearing and the deaf communicate.
你好,
Imagine a deaf person walking into a doctor's office. The doctor is a regular doctor, probably can't speak in sign language.
Hello, my name is Dr. Wang. What is hurting you?
But the patient wants to communicate with the doctor. Today they'd have to use maybe writing, and it would be very artificial. But here with this technology, they could use signing, and the doctor would be able to understand that signing. So another scenario is an information kiosk, say at an airport.
Hello, how can I help you?
And rather than say the person seeking information at that kiosk being deaf, imagine if the person at the information kiosk was deaf.
Which way is the taxi stand?
Now a hearing person could come to that kiosk and ask questions of the deaf person, and the system could help them communicate with the deaf person and vice versa.
Please go outside the terminal and make a left.
Great, thank you.
So I think the great thing about this collaboration is people coming from totally different disciplines and from the different organizations there. So I really learned a lot from it.
So one of the things that we're doing with this project is working with the deaf community directly. We're working with a school in China for the deaf. And they've helped us understand better that there's quite an isolated feeling in being deaf, even today. What overwhelmingly you feel when you see it working is a certain magic, but you know that there's more work to do, but you can see the potential there, that one day this is going to be something that is going to transform lives.
Okay, so why I put here deaf, and we are saying about health context, healthcare context, and elderly, because as we previously discussed it, also elderly or deaf people will become elderly, and they will need healthcare support, right? So this is a way that we can say, we can see here, the assistive technology can be present in any environment, as we are saying here in the healthcare, and also how the communication with the doctor and the patient in this way, the patient is in the doctor office, but we can say in the virtual call, doing the same, and how the doctor can support a deaf person with some symptoms or some problems or some pain, and the assistive technology can help also in this way. Okay, and also the conclusion and future work, I can say that in the last few years, assistive technology have been an increase of the research and adoption of mobile smart devices to assist elderly people in this context in health situation. The digital transformation is present in all sectors: education, business, agribusiness, health, and etc. So the revolutionary here is the healthcare, because we will need also adaptations at home. This is a very important point. Once enabled elderly to remain in their own homes due to their difficulties and of accessing the health services, and how they can have the quality of the internet to have a good session, and also the doctor see and understand the situation, the historical of the patient. And of course, the last but important, those technologies will replace traditional way for home care, remote healthcare, and telemedicine, right? And to finalize here, this is what this material about how to support elderly in the healthcare context that I published here in the IEEE symposium, and it's available if you want to download and access the website. Feel free. And one more thing here, I have my contacts. If someone wants to discuss with me about diversity and inclusion, or my research about sign language, and my next step is I'm a student, PhD student at Cesar School, and I intended to explore, to research more about elderly and assistive technology to support them. Okay, and obrigado, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm able here now to open to answer any questions or anything that may not be clear or I can support right now.